Here we are, quarter 2, week 7, day 3. Find the quotient. Well, once again, keep change flip. Keep the 3/4. The division sign becomes a multiplication sign, and it becomes 7/6. All right, let's see if we can do any cross-reducing. All right, nothing with the 7 and the 4. How about the 3 and the 6? Yeah, 3 goes into both 3 and 6. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 6 twice. Let's multiply across. 1 times 7 is 7. 4 times 2 is 8. 7/8. 7/8 is our answer for this problem. Find the sum. We are adding two numbers that are decimals. So this is going to be pretty interesting. So we have 4,399.1. And we're going to add that to 48.028. Okay, so if we want to, we can put zeros here. But that was very interesting how we had to line up the decimals. Okay, so 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 0 is 2. 1 plus 0 is 1. 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus 1 more is 17. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 4 more is 14. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 4 plus nothing is that. So we're going to move over 3 places, put our comma. The answer is 4,447.128. And that's the sum of those two numbers. After working 6 hours, Kevin earned $51. What is Kevin's unit rate? Which means, I guess, how much per 1 hour. So we'll divide 6 into 51. All right, how many times does 6 go into 5? It doesn't. How many times does 6 go into 51? Let's see. I think 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 9 would be too many. So 6 times 8 is 48. 51 minus 48 is 3. Bring down to 0. How many times does 6 go into 30? 5 times. 6 times 5 is 30. And bring down to 0. How many times does 6 go into 0? 0. So basically, we know that for every 1 hour, she gets $8.50. Okay, so that's our unit rate. Okay, $8.50 per hour. Okay, you could put 8.5 over 1, I guess, but that's the answer. $8.50 per 1 hour. Tony has 8 yards of fabric. How many inches does he have? Okay, well, I kind of gave this to you that 1 yard is 3 feet. And we know that each foot is 12 inches. So 3 feet, or 3 times 12, would give you 36. So now we've converted 1 yard is 36 inches. So now we need to get from 1 yard to 8 yards. Well, how would you do that? Obviously, times 8. So what are you going to do with 36? Times 8. So what is 36 times 8? So 36 times 8. Okay, so we have 6 times 8 is 48. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 4 more, which is 28. So it looks like it's going to be 288 inches. So 1 yard is 36 inches, 8 yards is 288 inches. Jose worked N hours at $8.75 per hour. So N hours. We don't know how many, but each hour they make $8.75. He made a total of $61.25. So write an expression. Okay, well, anytime you have a total of something, that's your answer. So $61.25. And then we know that they make $8.75 per hour. And then so all we have to do is figure out, well, let's put N for hours. So N times 8.75 equals 61.25. So once you know how many hours it takes times 8.75 to get $61.25, that would be the number of hours. So if we were to actually work that out, remember you just do the opposite operation. So this is multiplication. So you would just divide both sides by 8.75. And it's not asking us to do this, but we're just going to go ahead and do it just to see how many hours it is. So all you have to do is take $61.25, divide that by $8.75, and that's going to be 7. So it's basically 7 hours. So if you work 7 hours at $8.75 per hour, they will make $61.25. So we've actually solved more than they asked, but there it is. Write an equivalent expression for 88 plus 16x plus 8. Okay, I can already see that we have a couple of options here. I can see that 8 goes into all of these. Okay, so 8, I'm going to put that on the outside. 8 goes into 88 11 times. 8 goes into 16 2 times, so we have 2x. And 8 goes into 8 1 time. So that's one possibility. Okay, or we could actually combine like terms, right? So we have 88 plus 8, which is 96, right? So we'd end up with 96 plus 16x. Okay, so that would actually be another equivalent expression, but then we could also take 8 out of that one. So 96 divided by 8 would be 12, plus 16 divided by 8 would be 2x. So every single one of these is an equivalent expression of the other. So it says if 4 is the solution to both expressions, or if x equals 4 is the solution to both expressions, well, we end up making like 4 different ones. Okay, here's the original one, here's a new one, here's a new one, and here's a new one. And if you put 4 in for x, for any of those expressions, it would be the same answer. So the answer for that one would be yes. All right, there we go for that one. What is the value of x? Circle the correct answer. Well, again, we can just kind of plop in 4 for x, and then that'd be 4 over 1. So you just do 2 over 3 times 4 over 1. Or we could put in the 6 for x, and it'd be 2 over 3 times 6 over 1. And you would see which one of those is 4. Or we can solve for x. And I'm going to go ahead and show you real quick how we would do that. Again, it might be a little bit over your head at this point. Okay, but it's going to be how you're going to be solving it in the future. So we need to get x by itself. And the easiest way to do that is multiply by the reciprocal of the fraction. So if you have a fraction, you're just going to multiply by the reciprocal. So if you do that to one side, you have to do it to both sides. Okay, so basically these cancel out and become 1. These cancel out and become 1. So now we just have 1x on this side. On the other side, we have to multiply across. But we can cross reduce first. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 4 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. Or simply 6. So x equals 6. So that would be the correct answer for this one. Again, you can just kind of plug it in and try it, but I just wanted to show you the algebraic way that you're going to use to solve it. Anytime you're trying to get rid of a fraction on one side, you just multiply by its reciprocal, okay, or its inverse, and you will always get 1. And so that'll just have the x by itself at that point. Okay, there we go for that one. Each day, Marvin exercises for 48 minutes. How many days will it take him to exercise for 576 minutes? Okay, so 576 is the total number of minutes that we're talking about. We know that every single day he goes for 48 minutes. Okay, so at that point we can probably just put, well, 48 times however many days. I don't know. What do you want to put? What should we put there for the variable for that? I mean, I guess it could just be anything. We'll just put an n. N's easy. All right, so we need to figure out what n is, because that's how many days, and we have to get rid of the 48. Well, this is multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? Is division. So we're going to divide 48 into the number above. So again, 48 goes into 48 one time. So the only thing left on this side is n. Then we have to say, how many times does 48 go into 576? Well, got a little work to do. So we have 48. We're going to divide that into 576. Just got to pull that back in here real quick. So 576. Okay, so how many times does 48 go into 57? One time. That's 48. Okay, so then we have 57 minus 48, and that equals 9. And then we have a 6. So, okay, so 48 goes into 96 two times, right? 96 divided by 48 is 2. So I'll put a 2 right here. And 48 times 2 is 96. So the answer is 12. So n equals 12. All right, so how many days will it take him to exercise for 576 minutes? The answer is 12 days. That would be the answer. Solve for h. Okay, so we have 8 times h equals 112. We need to get h by itself on one side of the equal sign to solve for that variable. All right, so this is multiplication. 8 and h right next to each other is multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? That's division. So we're going to put 8, and we're going to divide 8 into both sides. Obviously, 8 goes into 8 one time, so the only thing left on this side is h. How many times does 8 go into 112? So, well, I guess we'll figure that out. 8 goes into 11 one time, which is 8. So 11 minus 8 is 3 and 2. How many times does 8 go into 32? So 32 divided by 8 is 4. Okay, so and the answer here is 4. All right, so the answer is 14. H equals 14. So to solve for h, we just had to take 112 divided by 8. H equals 14.